Hi, how are you? Classified ANM classified. Welcome. Welcome to my live stream. How are you? Oh, it's lagging for you? Sorry about that. I'm so sorry. Um, I don't know what to tell you. Hey, sexy Harlem. Hey, my lupus sister. How are you? How you doing, love? You doing okay? If you do not have anyone in this stream, you're more than welcome to connect with anyone, but please do it the correct way. Watch a short video, leave a comment, and then subscribe. I'm doing okay, baby. I'm doing just fine. How is your neck of the woods, sexy Harlem? I might have to move. I don't know why my signal sometimes is bad when I'm sitting at my dining room table. So I might have to move to my normal seating, which is over there on my sofa. That's where I normally sit when I'm going live. But I didn't feel like yeah, I see myself um being still. All this money I pay for internet and this stuff is crazy. And you get poor service. So I'm gonna have to move, you guys, because I don't like the robotic feeling either. Your neck of the woods is fine. Well, you know I'm down here in Texas, girl, and you know that's how we talk down here. Yeah, you know, people laugh when I tell them that I stay in quarantine. And sometimes people don't get it, you know, that I'm not trying to be funny, that I'm not trying to be mean or evil, but what people don't understand with this disease, anytime you have an autoimmune disease, that means your immune system is shot to kaput. And a lot of things you cannot tolerate. And that's so much of being around babies, older people, anybody that has an ailment, we cannot be around. That's just what it is. Y'all give me a moment and let me move myself because I see this not acting right. I don't want to be up in here robotic. So give me a minute and let me move myself. If y'all don't mind just hanging there with me, let me move myself to my sofa and so we can have a discussion because I really want to talk about lupus and I also want to talk about mental illness as well. So let me move myself. So hold on, Pete. Oh, Okay, I'm back. Can y'all still hear me? Is this better? I hope so. Forgot my ring now, but that's okay. Yeah, Sexy Harlem. You know, trying to educate people about this disease is sometimes it get very difficult, but because people, you know, cannot understand because they're not dealing with it or they know no one that has this disease. And for me, I had an opportunity to meet a lot of people. You know, I tell people that we here in Texas we have the Gulf Coast chapter for lupus chapter because it go all over the state of Texas. And so I've had the opportunity to meet so many people with this disease and family members uh, family members who have had this disease and died from it. So when you're trying to bring awareness, come on, when you're trying to bring awareness to the forefront about this disease, a lot of people cannot understand it or fathom it. But it is true. It will kill you going untreated. Um, I've met people who was not diagnosed as myself. I had all the obvious signs, and when I meet people like that, such as on YouTube, I try to connect with them right away, and then try to do another lupus with um, with the people that was diagnosed differently from me, because I've met people who have had um, endometriosis. I've met people who had that and later was diagnosed. I've met people with scardosis who was who wasn't diagnosed in the beginning, but later afterwards. I've met many people who was not diagnosed, such as myself. And for me, I tell people all the time that obvious signs, like I had the butterfly rash. That came on the bridge of your nose. I had that. And so it wasn't hard for my primary care doctor at that time to diagnose me. Now we talking about the late 90s. I'm talking about 94, 95 when I was diagnosed. Now that's almost 30 years ago. The medication that they give you for lupus has changed. It is much better. Um, the diagnosing progress, no, that hasn't changed at all. That they're still slow to hear or understand this disease. Why? Because it's so mysterious. And when you're dealing with a disease that has no cure, they can't find the cure. Here we are in the 20th century, and we still battling this disease that have took millions, billions of lives. And I tell people that you'll never know until you get that death certificate. And a lot of times it's put on the death certificate before it's even being diagnosed. So when I hear people say, well, you don't look sick. Well, hell, what sickness look like? Like I'm dying, a zombie? Help me out. Don't sit here and tell me that I don't look sick. looking sick and feeling sick is two different things. And I wish people would stop saying that. I wish people would stop categorizing this disease, because it's not. And what frustrated me the most is trying to get them to understand. And the most hardest thing for me right now is getting help for my son. I don't know if many of you know this, but my oldest son turned 32 last Sunday, May the 3rd. My oldest son is on dialysis, peritoneal dialysis. Now, the hardest thing is not knowing what caused his renal failure. That's the hardest thing as a mother, to look at your oldest son and not be able to help them. And I did a video. I'm home now. I was at their house. I had been at their house since the 23rd of April, because the 24th of April is when they went into his stomach and put his cath in for him to start dialysis. So I went down there April. It was supposed to have been April the 27th. But when the COVID-19 broke out, that I thought they weren't going to do it. I thought they was going to call it off. But when the COVID-19 broke out, because they initially had him scheduled for the 27th. When that happened, they pushed it up. And I asked him then, I said, do you honestly think they're going to do this, with this outbreak, this pandemic? And he said to me, Mom, I think so, because I don't think they're going. And my daughter-in-law, who's in school right now for nursing, she in now either to be a nurse or PRN, one of the two. Anyway, she's been in there forever, so I can't keep up with her half of the time. But anyway, she was saying the same thing, So I said, well, you think he said, no, Mama, they're not going to cancel it. So, child, so I got down there on the 23rd to their house. And I had been down there since the 23rd till I came home Sunday night. And y'all, the hardest thing for me is going to the doctor with him, listening to these people talk to my son about stuff that don't even matter. At this point, it don't matter to me. And as a mother, sitting there trying to figure out what's going on with my son and trust these people is very difficult for me. Because for myself, battling this disease, I have been turned down from doctors, rheumatologists. I have heard people, when I had, I'm giving you an example, when I had knee surgery, I went to 4 doctors, 4 orthopedic surgeons, and out of the 4, 3 of them turned me down. 3 of them. Hey, Donna. Hey, baby. Hey, Rochelle. Hey, love. I hope y'all all doing well. Hey, baby. 3 of them turned me down because of my disease, because lupus have arthritis. And so they felt like it wouldn't be necessary for me to have a knee replacement with this disease. But mind you, my leg, my feet, all that swole. I had to wear Crocs. I couldn't even put on my shoes. So I'm walking around here with this swollen leg, And they telling me, and they looking at my MRIs. They see I have my joint is gone completely. And they turned me down. Went back to my my specialist. I told her, and she said, okay, because you got to get this done. It ain't gonna get no better until you get this knee replaced. And I never forget, y'all. So you can't tell me about no doctor. I'll flatfoot stand up there and argue with them day and night till they assign me to somebody else, because they can't tell me about me and how the way I'm feeling, because they're not you. And so the hardest thing as a mother is to sit and watch somebody tell you, we got to do this for your son. My hands tied because he grown. Not only that, my daughter-in-law. So to sit here and tell y'all that I've been okay, no, I ain't been okay. Because I've been over here fighting, girl, not just for myself, but for my son. And I did a video while I was down there. I did. I went live while I was down there. But y'all, it's crazy. Because we as mothers, we go through a lot. And we take a lot of hits. We do. And sitting here, you know, y'all, it's crazy. It's crazy. And I don't know what to say, you know. And the most thing though, y'all, I'll be back down there today, this evening, at my son's house, because the most important thing to me right now is keeping my son mental capacity straight. His train of thought, how he feeling, what's really going on up there in that head of yours. Because while I was down there, I would watch when he started taking his dialysis at home. The first night, see, because I couldn't go to the dialysis center to learn. My daughter-in-law had to go, and then she came back and taught me. And so, because of my disease, so I couldn't be around other people. And so, the hardest thing, y'all, is sitting there looking at my son, and he in this, you know how people go into this deep thought, they go to gazing off up into a deep thought. Where I watched my son, I watched him do that, and I'm gonna tell y'all something. That ain't no hard. That it ain't easy, And I sat there and I asked him. I said, "Babe, what you a penny for your thought?" Because that's what my father used to always tell us. When we would do that daydream as children, he would always say, "A penny for your thought." So I said, "I'll give you a penny for your thought." And he started laughing. He said, "Mama, what you talking about?" I say, "Oh, I see you over there thinking. What you thinking about, child?" I would tell him, laugh with him and stuff, tell him that, try to keep his mind from being caught up about what he's going through. See, mothers, because this is the week of, coming up on the weekend of Mother's Day. Anytime you can go through labor, And putting a child here on this earth, child, if you can get through that, you can withstand anything. Because labor ain't no joke by a long shot. And I don't know too many mothers that now I do know some, but I don't know that many of them. But I do know some. And for the life of me, I don't understand them. And for the life of them, they probably don't understand me. But it's hurting to a mother when she can't comfort her child. Let me say that again. It's difficult for a mother when she can't comfort her child. It's difficult for a mother when she can't fix whatever going wrong with her child. See, that's difficult for me. That's difficult. And even though, my boys always tell me that, Mama, you still look at us as those little bitty boys, but we're grown men. And I always have to tell them, yeah, y'all might be grown men, but you still my baby, but I get it. I get them. I get them. And I don't think they really understand Mama. I really don't. I really don't think they, and in a way they probably do. Somehow I might be missing it, but I don't, it's what it is, and I don't know no mother that wouldn't try to sit and try to help their child. And so as I sat and watched him every night hook himself up to that machine, and y'all, I got a video, I recorded a video of it, but God ain't told me to put it out. Let me tell y'all that. He ain't told me to put that video up. So that's why y'all haven't seen it. But I do have it of him hooking this, what it takes for him, how he hooked himself up every night to this dialysis machine, which he takes peritoneal. And peritoneal dialysis is totally different than the hemodialysis, where they put the graft either in your right arm, and they place it underneath the skin into your arteries. Okay, that has to mature. That has to mature, like whatever material that they use to put in there. That has to get hard. And once it get hard, they're able to dialyze, hemodialysis, where they draw the blood out and clean it, the machine, and clean the blood. That's hemodialysis, okay? That's different from the dialysis that my son is on. The one that my son is on is called peritoneal. Sexy Harlem. I don't, but I do it. He got. I just people think that the way I don't run my channel like that. It take a lot for me to get up here and talk and do different things, and because really when I get on live, I like to come and talk about issues that's going on in the community. I like to talk about positive things. I like to talk about spirituality, those type of things. Other than you don't get that from me. If I can't get up here and encourage nobody, teach nobody, then most likely you're not going to see me. You're not gonna see me. Come on, thing. Go, go, go. Yeah, you're not gonna see me. Yeah, you're not gonna see me. Oh, Rochelle, you gone? You know, you're not gonna see me. And that's just how I've been since I've been on YouTube. Like, I wish this thing could stop buffering. All this money we give to Infinity, Netflix, Infinity, Comcast, Spectrum, whichever company y'all have, child, they beating us, they robbing us, because this is crazy. Y'all see how my screen bopping around? Yeah, thank you, Rochelle. Yeah, so um, you know, it's totally different. So that material has to get hard where they can stick that needle in there and they could draw it, clean your blood. Now that one is totally different. The one that my son is on, the machine is much smaller, you know. Um, the solution that he uses is sit on. It looked like, I'm gonna tell y'all what it looked like. It looked like a weight. You know how you go into the meat market? Oh, no, 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 no. It looked like the thing when you have children and you taking them in to get their shots, and the doctor lay them on top of that weight bed. That's what his dialysis machine looked like. It looked just like that. But on the top of the bed, the solution sit on top of that bed, because that part of his dialysis, it's a warmer. So the solution has to warm up before he can actually, and the machine has to prime itself and everything before he can even hook himself up to the machine. Okay, so it's real small, real small. I did a video about it, not him being on dialysis, but showing the machine and all the supplies that he got, you know, so he could start taking it at home. But you guys, trying to keep my daughter-in-law and um, my boys in the right frame of mind, trying to keep them. Yeah, child, Spectrum everywhere. Spectrum, Comcast. We got it all over Texas, child. Spectrum, Xfinity, Comcast. What's the other one? It's one more that they got here. But anyway, trying to keep my boys, and my daughter-in-law, keep them in the right frame of mind. Make sure that their mental capacity is good. You know, y'all got to hear this. I got to. All that fear that I had to push that out the window. Like, I had to get a grip of myself so I can be beneficial for my family. You know, it just what you do when you're a mother, you know. And I done made a many sacrifices for these two, you know. And y'all, when they told me, when I got when he told me, all I could think about is, Lord, no, you know. But I'm not no different from nobody else, you know. So for me, I had to I had to get on my knees, and I still do a lot of praying, daily, for my family, you know. And yesterday, I was deep in thought, and y'all, I thought about my husband, and again, I began to say, it looked like he was trying to tell me that everything was gonna be okay. You ain't got to worry. He gonna be all right. So I kept hearing that, and so I say, talking like I'm having a regular conversation, with him, like he up in the house with me, child. And I say, well, you up there with God, you up there with the Father. Ask the Father, you know, to keep his healing hand on our son. It's just might sound crazy, but it's the truth. It might sound crazy, but it's doggone it's the truth. Oh, okay, Miss Donna. That's right, Sexy Harlem. We should, you know. And I ain't got time to hate on nobody. See, I don't have time for that. I got too much going on. I got too much to do. I got a family that I got to keep intact. Keep their mind right. I ain't got time. I ain't got time to be fooling around with nobody else and they foolishness. See, I got work to do. I ain't got time for that. And so um so a lot of times, like I've been off of YouTube. Like I'm still trying to get them 4,000 watch hours. And I ain't that far from it. But I ain't even have time to concentrate on that, you know. And the little time that I do have, I think I caught your live last week, Sexy Harlem, because I was down there at their house when you was live. I was down there, and he had to go in and get what you call that thing. He had to go in to get a shot that helps with his blood count, that builds his red cell blood count up. So, since he's been taking dialysis, they've been giving him that shot, right? So what I noticed from being down now is that he don't, because most people that's anemic, and most people that's on dialysis, they stay cold. They stay cold and they stay thirsty. They always want something to drink or some ice or something because they I don't know what I think it's the sugar, not having enough carbohydrate. Hey Rose, hey baby, hey Rosa, hey sweet, hey niece. Y'all look at here. Look, my niece in the house. Hey baby. Hey Cass, hey love, ain't I love you. Hey, y'all doing all right? Yeah, so for some reason they mouth be dry. So what I noticed though, he ain't cold no more. He ain't cold no more. He don't have yeah, that's really my niece, Rosa. That's really my niece. He ain't cold. He ain't cold no more. So he don't be cold, because when I first got there, child, he had us up in there sweating hot because he couldn't stand to be cold. But now they giving him them shots, and that's helping with his anemia. But yeah, that's my niece, y'all. she some else child, but he's not as cold as much. you know he still don't have much of appetite. And for y'all that don't know, when you have renal failure, you lose your appetite. Not only that, don't nothing taste good. Okay, baby. Okay, Michelle. Nothing tastes good, right? So they mouth have that. You hear people say they have a bad taste, but it's actually the magnesium in the body that they're tasting, because their kidney is not filtering, it's not cleaning. And as many of you know, your kidney is your filter. Your kidney and your liver filter, but your kidney do the most work. And so when you develop renal failure, kidney failure, you lose your appetite, and you get this bitter taste in your. Yeah, I'm back home, baby. I came back Thursday. Was it Thursday, Sunday? One day, child. Yeah, I'm home. Ain't it home? Yeah. I had, yeah, cause child, your cousin say he was going back to work, child. I don't know how he gonna do it, but he child, niece, I'm gonna have to call you, child, cause I don't know what's going on with that boy. But yeah, I think he went back to work Monday. Monday, I think, niece. But I ain't for sure. So don't hold me up on it now. But you get this bad taste in your mouth. And he had been saying that he can't, certain things he wouldn't eat because, okay. He couldn't eat because of the taste he had in his mouth. And so when you develop that, when your kidney shut out on you, all kinds of stuff start going wrong. And then you can't hold nothing on your stomach either. So whatever it can't filter through, it's gonna come back up. It's gonna make you sick, and you're gonna give it up. Oh, okay, Sexy Harlem. Okay. Yeah, so yeah, he couldn't, before going on dialysis, he couldn't eat in and everything he wanted either, because his kidneys was giving out on him, and whatever he tried to eat, it would come back up. So that's what caused his weight loss. Like, it dropped him quick, fast, in a hurry. When I say quick, y'all, it was fast. It wasn't nothing at a slow rate. It was fast. So and even after him doing dialysis, he still had it, that taste, that side effect of his kidneys not functioning. So, it's crazy. Y'all, it's some crazy stuff. So I tell everybody, take care of yourself. And for you all that don't know, Lupus Awareness Month is May. May is Lupus Awareness Month, and y'all know I try to share with y'all some of everything about lupus. But let's talk about the first signs for you all that don't know, that if you know anyone or come across anyone. The first signs is fatigue. That's the first sign of it, where you real tired. Tired. You don't have no energy. Yeah, me too, Rosa. That's one of the first signs. Real tired, fatigueness is one. Hair loss. Hair loss is one of the signs as well. If you losing hair in big clumps, like you wash your hair and you can see your hair going down the drain like I do, and it don't come out in Like my hair don't. Now I got hair. For people that don't know, people think I'm bald headed because I wear this cap all the time. But my niece in the chat, she could tell you I ain't bald headed, and I don't too much wear weaves. The only weaves that I do wear is them braids. Now you ain't gonna see me with no weave hair in my head. Now you just ain't. But the closest I get to some weave hairs, them putting them braids in my hair. Them them little mini braids. I used to wear them all the time. But if you losing clumps of hair, that's a sign of lupus, because I lose clumps of hair, like clumps, not pieces of hair, whole clumps, whole balls, hair balls of my hair, but it don't patch my hair. Like it's not a patch of hair. It's just a clump of hair. It like my hair is still, you'll never know I lose hair unless I tell you, because when you look at my hair, you can't tell that I lost hair. But yeah, losing hair in clumps, fatigueness, y'all know the skin, psoriasis, that's one. And then swelling and joint pain. If you swelling and you're having pain, most likely, you know, your body is trying to tell you, hey, there's something going on with you, you know, that you need to have checked out. And I always tell people, have them to run inflammation and an antibody test on you, a full blood workup on you. And if they would do that for you, then it most likely to come out and tell you if you have it or if you don't. Okay? But I wouldn't stop there, because if the problems persist, you know, if the problems continue, because y'all done heard me say you could test positive today and be negative a couple of weeks later. So I don't want to mislead y'all. If you test and it come back negative, but you still having problems, either go back and have them to do a full blood work of you, of your antibodies and the inflammation in your body. And that should give you a sign of what's going on in your body. Okay? If you are suffering from immune disease. You understand? Okay, so if you having those issues and the doctor is trying to tell you no, don't try to go along with that. Because let me tell you about doctors. Doctors just like you, just like me. And they make mistakes. And with doctors, it's a guessing game, because they sitting up there, they listening to you. That's your chief complaint to them. For them to tell you what's wrong with you. And most of the time, some doctors can hit it dead on the head, and some it's a hit and miss, you know. So you have to be very, very advocate, and that's what I try to get my son to be when he go in there and talk to his kidney doctor and his primary care. Don't just sit up there and say this and don't expound on it. Don't really tell them people how you really feeling. You got to, because if you don't, and he one of them, he'll sit up there and tell you half of the story and ain't gonna tell you the whole thing. And I be sitting there looking at him. A couple of times I had to go with him, child. I sat there and cut my eyes up at him. Cause I said, now hell, I'm sitting here listening to you and I don't understand what you're talking about. Boy, be more frank. Come on now. Yeah, you have to be you have to be your own advocate. I'm telling y'all, I was sitting up there, cause before he had, I was there before he had before they put the catheter in it. See, I was there before that. And so he had to go get blood work done. He had to do a lot of stuff. So child, he tell my daughter-in-law she had to be at work and at school. So I had to go. So child, me and him go, and I'm sitting up there and I'm listening to him tell a doctor, and the doctor asked him a question. I looked at the doctor, cut my eyes back at him, looked at the doctor. So the doctor asked him something else about, well, do you have this? And he's sitting up there talking about, oh, no, not really. I'm like, look here, boy. Who child? Stop, you got to be straight out your mouth. Like when you want to tell me something, you sure can tell me with me not having to ask you no questions. You know how to talk and explain and express yourself better than what you expressing yourself up in this doctor's office. I ain't nobody got time for this. Boy, talk to tell these people, hell, ain't nobody know what's going on with you but you, how you feel. You got to tell these people. You can't sit up here and just have talk. Boy, you crazy. Child. Yeah, I've been over here going through. Yeah, I'm just, my girl, I was on the side of Rosa, and I was just about to say, sliding, girl, yeah. Oh, child, yeah, girl, I'm about to slide it, Rosa. Well, I ain't want to go to jail, because, you know, I don't like jail. So I ain't want to do that up in that doctor's office, but yeah, child. But you have to be a voice for you know, you have to tell the doctors, because like I say, they're gonna guess anyway, and they'll put you on all kinds of shit and have you back crazy. They'll put you on all that medication, and then they go to messing with other stuff in your body, and then before you know it, you got other things going on. But what's really going on with you, child? Yeah, child. So yeah, but let's talk about the mental issue in our community. Y'all heard me? Y'all heard me? Yeah, let's talk about mental issue in our community, the African American community. Now, my experience with that is, I'm gonna tell y'all what I've experienced. Working with children who suffer from mental illness is hard. It's difficult. And a lot of times you might not see it until way later. And a lot of times people of color, we don't want that stigma. We don't want mental health attached to our name. And that's sad, because working in the school system, and one of the largest in Texas, Houston has the largest. Working in the school system from elementary through high school. Once I got to middle school and worked in the special needs department, and seeing it on a different level than elementary, because in elementary, they only go on physical, like the physical, what you could see with your physical eyes, a physical disability, polio, spinal bifida. You got children that don't even know that they're here, but they're in a wheelchair. You have to feed them, change them, everything. They do not talk. They don't do any of that. They don't interact with others or any of that. So, but we're seeing it from middle school to high school. You all, I would have parents standing in my office. Now they didn't. Now the school board didn't tested your child, tested your child, learning at this level, and the reason why. Now the school district, the government pay a lot of money. I mean, they pay a lot of money for counselors, speech pathologists, all kinds of stuff. Okay? So when the school tests children with behavior disorders, mental illness, that comes from a doctor that's dealing with the school. And my niece that's in the chat, and my oldest sister, my niece's mother, my youngest sister, Cassidy's mother is my baby sister. Okay? That's who Cassidy's mother is. My oldest sister and Cassidy's mother work for MHMRA. MHMRA is a mental rehabilitation hospital. And Houston send children to that, Houston School District was send children to that facility to get evaluated. Hey, Auntie Donna. Hey, baby. How are you, sweetheart? How are you, Auntie Donna? You doing all right? Y'all know Auntie Donna. Auntie Donna is my girl. Auntie Donna been with me forever and a day. And if you all ain't got an opportunity to meet her, I suggest you do. She's a loyal supporter. Me and Auntie Donna have did panels together. You know, so if y'all ain't got an opportunity to meet her, y'all don't know what y'all missing. Also, Donna, just being real, is another young lady who's been with me for a minute. Rosa have been with me. You all connect with one another and show each other love the correct way, you know. But Cassidy mom and my oldest sister work for HMRA. Now HMRA, they're not too big anymore here in Houston, but you all, I would have parents stand in front of me and say that this is a lie. Oh, I'm so sorry, Auntie, that this is a lie. This is not my child. And most of the time, the school board is kind of laxy-daisy, and it would take forever to get that child pulled in to get them tested underneath that special need umbrella. And so what would happen is that child would act out. And most of the time when you have bipolar, schizophrenia, it shows up in a child right in between a teen, middle school, and high school. It tinkers in between there. See, it began to show, you will see it showing up. Now, when I was coming up, you didn't see that. Time has changed. You did not see children with behavior issues like today. A lot of things have changed. It's crazy. But Here we learn that bipolar and schizophrenia, depression, anxiety, and others are hereditary, that it runs in the bloodline, that is genetics. See, you got to know, you really do. And I wish people read more and quit using Google for everything. Go pick up your book and read, read it. And what I've seen in children with behavior issues, a lot of time it starts early. And you used to hear, I know my grandmother, she wouldn't say children was bad. She would say, don't say that. Don't say that that child is bad. You mischievous. See, my grandmother used to always say that. And I used to always say in my mind, hell, he bad. That's but my grandmother did not like the terminology. She didn't like the stigmatism of the word bad being put on a child. Now I know I ain't the only one in there that heard that, cause but what people don't realize is that when you see a child that's acting out, get that child some help, because if they're in school and they cannot concentrate, they get frustrated real quickly. And then you see that angry side come out. They're not being angry at the person. They're angry because they're not getting it like everybody else. And so it causes them to have outbursts, to really cut up in their class, because they're trying to tell you that they are not understanding, they're not getting it. And in the school district here, they give them teachers workshop after workshop after workshop after workshop after workshop. Y'all know why? Because they trying to protect the teacher, protect the school. See, it's political and it's money. And we are people of color got to understand that. You got to see the game for what it is. But if your child need help, you get that child some help. Don't sit up there and let that child finger dangle through school, and then when they get in trouble, get into some serious trouble, then you want to cry out. Because who don't know your child better than you? And the funniest thing, y'all take Auntie Donna like me, with my nieces and my great nieces and nephews. You hear me? They be in the house with me. See, I don't just take care of my own children. I take care of other folk children as well. I invest in other folk children, my great nieces and nephews as well. You understand? So if I'm in the house with them, you hear me? If I'm in the house with them and they cutting up and they ain't listening to me, then what makes you think they're going to go out of here and listen to somebody that they don't even know? They just see how many days? 180 days out of the year? That's not counting Thanksgiving and Christmas and the New Year. Okay? That's not counting that. And we as people of color have to learn to get help and forget about the title that it put on you. Forget about that, because that ain't it. It's you getting help for where you need help at. That does not make you. That's not your character. You understand? You got to get, see, and I got a great niece. She in her teens. My brother that's before me, his granddaughter, okay? My oldest niece, because Cassidy ain't the oldest. Snooty Cass is not the oldest. My brother that's before me, his grandbaby, my oldest niece, daughter. See, that young lady began to exemplify behavior. And the first thing I did, when I spoke to my niece, I told my niece, I said, look here, baby. Because she was getting ready, the baby was getting ready to go to school. I said, look here, baby. I said, Chelsea, whether you want to or not, whether you want to or not, but you got to get her some help. Because she wasn't learning. She wasn't getting it. Not only that, she had a little attitude issue, you know. And when she couldn't get it like the rest of them at that time, when she was younger, she's a teenager now, but when she was younger, she used to cry and try to fight. See, I would tell my niece, tell my niece before she go to school, because she wasn't going to school then. The oldest girl was, but not her. And so I kept telling my niece, I kept telling her, don't put her in there and you don't know what's wrong. Why she acting out like this, why she not catching on. I'm not a doctor, but I could tell you that this ain't right. That's what I could tell you. I could tell you go get her some help. Hey, B&B Reviews. Hey, baby. I could tell you go get her some help. Y'all doing all right? That's the kind of stuff. See, aunties and grandmamas do. See, that I ain't no grandmama yet, child. But that's what and mental health is whooping people of color, because we will not go and get help. We won't. And anytime you're not sleeping, you fearful, you depressed, it's something going on with you where you need to go get help. It's a must. Don't sit there and suffer. Even when you don't understand. Don't suffer. We got to learn to hug and love on one another, even in spite of. Now, I ain't telling you to go out there and keep loving on somebody who don't really want your love. Now, I ain't telling you to do that. But that does not mean you do not love them. And mental illness is running rapid. It is. It is. And we got to learn to get help when help is needed. See, you'll go out there and get help if you ain't got no money to pay that light bill and that cable get cut off. When them lights get cut off, you'll run down there and get help then. So why not go and get help when you really need help? When it affects your mental capacity. Because as I stated before, even with my son and my daughter-in-law going through what they going through, I have to stay in a mental capacity. You hear me? I have to stay there, encouraging them, building them so they don't break down. Yeah, it's hard. Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with us where we won't go get help. And I can assure you that need be that my son need to go talk to somebody, I don't believe he will go either. And I'm just being honest. I don't believe he will go either. I done been there. I done had grief counseling. See, I done been there. I done had grief counseling. Oh yeah. I done been there. I done had grief counseling. So for me, oh yeah, I got me some help. I sure did, because I knew that what I was doing one right. My whole life changed. I tell y'all all the time, I used to sit on this corner of the couch and sit up, get my coffee and sit up there and look at TV all day. I ain't moved. So you have to get help. You have to get help. And had I never went to that grief counseling, I ain't no telling where I'd be right now. Y'all probably wouldn't even know me. Had I not went and got grief counseling, there's no way that I'd be able to sit before you today, because I was in bad shape. Period. I had completely stopped living. Like I didn't want to exist anymore. You understand? So you got to get help. And if you see someone, your family members going through, you got to reach out and get them some help. Everybody is not as strong as me. Everybody don't have that. Everybody don't have that extra branch, that family member that they can hold on to, that they can call when they in trouble. Everybody don't have that. Everybody don't have that same support system. And even going through this pandemic, people have become depressed. People have become having anxiety, fears, because they don't know how to feed their family. They don't know how to deal with issues that come up. And I say this all the time. When they told us he was going on dying, don't y'all know I was up in here and I broke down like a baby. I was up in here, but I never stopped praying. See, I never stopped praying. And I left it there. I left it right there with God. Because see, his will gonna be done anyway, regardless of me. See, regardless of me, his will still gonna be done. So I had to pull myself together and say, girl, get up. This ain't the end of the world. Your son ain't the only one on dialysis. You ain't the only one going through that. We're going through a pandemic. I never forget the week of Easter. He and I, we on our way to the store. Now, y'all know I don't like to wait till the last minute to go to no store during no holiday. I don't like to do that because everything gets picked over. You ain't gonna get nothing that's on whatever you cooking for your Easter dinner. You ain't getting nothing that's on in the store that's on your menu. If you wait to the last minute, so I never forget. Matter of fact, it was Good Friday. Now, I had told them, I said, well, y'all better come on. What we gonna do? Y'all better come on. Let me know what I'm cooking, you know. Like I do every year. That's an every year thing. That ain't nothing new for me, but you know, for them, yeah. So I'm saying, come on. So me and him finally, we go to the store. Child, and me and him riding, and so I look over there at him. I tell him, I say, look here, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Don't you know you blessed? You ought to be thankful that you could get up and go to the store and buy food. You know how many people then lost their job and you still got a job? See, that was the kind of conversations we was having down there at his house. I say, don't you know everything you going through is a purpose? And I say, it ain't no time for you to waddle in what you're going through. I say, but here we are on our way to the grocery store where some families don't even know where their next meal gonna come from. See, I'm trying to speak life into him, into his situation. You know, even though he ain't telling me the full realm of how he's feeling, because he don't want to worry mama. But see, mama already done looked at it and seen this thing. You understand? So I already see it. See, and I think that's what really bothers my children about me. It's because I know them. See, I done been with them. See, been up in the house with them. And I think that's what really aggravates them about me, because I know them. You understand? And when you know your children, and I was steady telling him, and he heard me. He said, yeah, mommy, you know, you right. I said, yeah, you still got your job. Now, you ain't been to work in about 3 or 4, 5 months, but you still got a job. And them people still was paying it. That boy still was getting a paycheck every 2 weeks. My daughter-in-law working from home, right? She in school. Now, I ain't never seen, you know, I've always, you know, I knew she was, you know, working from home, but I ain't never really seen the setup, because I don't be down there like that. So And most of the time when I see them, they ain't doing nothing. So I get down there, y'all, and I'm there, and so I see my daughter-in-law and go in the kitchen and then go in the den part. And I see my daughter-in-law. She's sitting up there, child. She got 2 laptops popped wide open. At about 7 o'clock in the morning. I go in there and say, ooh, child. She in class, she at work. She in class, she at work. Child, I was up in there tripping. She in class, she at work. She in class, she at work. She in class, she at work. She had 2 laptops sitting open, and she watching both of them. You hear me? So, I told him, I say, you ain't got time to be depressed. You be thankful that you got a job for whenever you get ready to go back, that you could go back to. See, he had been off from work. My son had been off from work since January, I think. January, February, somewhere around in there. But he had been out for some months. It wasn't no month and a half, or it wasn't none of that. My son had been out for some months. Before they even told him he was going on dialysis. He was out before then. Out for his job. So, the week of Easter, Good Friday, me and him on our way to the store. So I told him, so you don't feel bad for what you're going through. You're going through it, now you got to get through it. Now you got to get healing it. Don't beat yourself up about what you should have, could have did. Because you spending your time thinking about that, ain't nothing you can do about it. You can't go back and correct that. You can't. You got to live from this day forward. And don't look back. So I say be thankful that you got a job. You see all them people losing their job, and the alarm rate of depression is high, anxiety is high, because people don't know how they're going to make it. I've been there. I told y'all I've been there. I ain't know how I was going to get that youngest one through college. No, I did not. Didn't have a clue. See, when you shrink down from 2 incomes to 1, child, you will hurry up and get a grip on life. Child, I didn't know how I was going to make it. Sure didn't. I didn't know how I was going to give him the same thing that I gave my oldest. I didn't know how I was going to do that. But I did. And I thank God for it. So I don't have time to sit up here and play around. I got a family that I got to hold together. I got to hold their mindset. Make sure they're okay. You understand? See, and even though, like I told my son, even though you're going through it physically, but we all affected by you being on dialysis. We all are dealing with it. Every last one of us. It's just that we're not going through it physically. We are not physically on dialysis. And I never forget when he got up to go have surgery. Now, they told us we all could be there. But when COVID-19 hit, they say, no, only one person go, and that was my daughter-in-law. So Y'all, there I go back. I had to push back. See, a mama like me don't know how to push back. A mama like me don't know how to sit still. See, a mama like me, I'm always trying to protect my cubs. See, I'm always 2 steps behind them. See, I'm always there. See, I don't know how to sit out. And I'm finna take that. Y'all, I was down now. Y'all, I was down there being a busybody. Yep. I was down there being a busybody. I was down there in everything. Child, I was so busy up and down that I thought they were gonna put me out, but they didn't. Oh Lord. I thought they was gonna put me out, but they didn't. But they didn't. But y'all, I was down there. I was into everything. Now, my daughter-in-law, she allowed me to do anything she want, for her. But my oldest son, mama, sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down somewhere, yeah. So I had to go in my little guest room that they had made for me. I had to go in there and sit down, watch my TV, because your girl was around there doing everything, child. And I thought I had got on their nerve long time ago, but no, they let me stay. They let me stay, and I hung out there as long as I could. But yeah, I was up in that doing some of everything, y'all. It's funny, but I had to come to grips. Girl, this ain't your house. Your name ain't on nothing here. And not even a light bill. Why is you up in here doing that? Why is you up in here acting like that? Child, your name ain't on nothing. Y'all, I was cooking breakfast, everything. And I was doing everything, y'all. Sure was. I ain't lying. I'm gonna lie to you, but that's why they always call me. That's why they always say I'm overbearing. And I don't let them be them. And I say that ain't true. I always tell them that ain't true. I do let y'all be. But yeah, so you got to keep. You see somebody depressed, and they talking to you, try to convince them to go and seek help, so they can get through that thing. Oh yeah, Donna. Oh yeah, Donna. Rosa, B&B. Oh yeah, your girl was down there in Ralph on, child. I was down there organizing, cleaning, because before he can even start having dialysis at home, it's a process that they have to go through. And so the house got to be immaculate. Like, it got to be clean. Like, clean, y'all. Like, clean. Them people come in there. Them people literally come in there and look at your home. The nurses do. They literally literally come in there and look over your whole entire house. If he do dialysis in his bedroom, they looking at that. They making sure that the bathroom is clean. They making sure that the bathroom is close enough so them tubes can because see that tube have to have a dumping site. So the toilet is the dumping site, so that your toilet, your bathroom has to be clean. The whole house got to be clean. And you can't have the air condition on. Like when he's getting ready to do his dialysis, he can't run the air. He can't have his ceiling fan on. He can't have none of that on when he getting ready to hook himself up to that machine. And anybody that's in the room with him, everybody have to be gloved up and mask on. And you have to put on a little gown. So that area has to be sterile. Yeah. Yeah, so my youngest son, who is the donor, y'all know he staying on. He don't live here. So I took a video for him to see, but I couldn't send it to him because it was too long, and so I couldn't text it to him. But the air have to be off. Everybody in the room got to be masked up, glove, your little gown on, and all that. And you can't touch nothing. Like you can't just put your hands on any and everything. You can't do that. And so it's a lot to go through, when a person going through that. So I got an opportunity to learn that, and I got an opportunity to really, really see my daughter-in-law, because even though she been in the family forever, I never been with her day and night and day, every minute, 24 hours. See, I ain't never spent that type of time with them because they, in a dating process, they didn't live together either. Because that's not what me and their dad tolerated, and that's not what her parents went along with either. So, you just see her visiting and that was it. But to be in the house with her 24/7, 7 days out of the week, yeah, I really got an opportunity to learn my daughter-in-law. And they've been together over 10 years. And I think they only been married about 4, maybe 5. I stopped counting. I stopped counting. They've been married longer than 4 years. They might be 5 or 6 years now, but they got married in 2016, 17, 18, 19. No, they've been married 4 years, going on into 5 years, y'all. But anyway, I ain't never, really, really, really got an opportunity to see my daughter-in-law in full realm, every day living, because I didn't, they didn't live together, and then I ain't had no reason to go to their house, step in there and stay like that, so when you don't get an opportunity to really see a person, for who they really is, it'll throw you when you do. And so, it kind of startled me when I did see, her and how she do things. Now, mind y'all, she do things a whole lot different than me. Yes, she do. And so, and I had to learn that. I had to learn it, I had to learn it with my busy, bossy self. I had to learn that this is this girl's house. Ain't none of yours. Now, if she wanna organize her house like this, let her be, child. You don't pay no bills over here. Your name ain't on nothing over here. Now, be grateful and sit yourself down somewhere. Go in your room. Hmm. Yeah, I can laugh at it now because but it wasn't funny when I was down. When I was down there. But yeah, y'all, y'all gotta talk to your loved ones. Make sure they okay. That they doing all right. That mental capacity is still in line. Because like I say, I do it, for mine. And I don't want them around here acting crazy, because they can't deal with certain issues that come up in their life. You know? Yes, Rosa. She was gonna slap me, girl. She was gonna slap me, girl. Yeah, I was around there doing everything, call myself helping out. But my help and what I do, you know, um, might not be the help that she really wants, but she wouldn't say anything that hurt my feelings. Like she wouldn't really say nothing. Now, on the other hand, my oldest son, my son, yeah, he say, "Mama, sit down, move back, move," but her, she don't, that ain't her, like, that ain't her cup of tea, she don't do that. So, she ain't say nothing. She ain't open her mouth, sure didn't. But that's just her. That don't mean she ain't say nothing about me, and then it could be that she used to me. She used to how I react to things. Cause you gotta remember, she was here before their daddy passed. See, she was here before all that. Before all that took place, she was already here. So she might be used to me and how I do things, and I think that's why it didn't bother her. But I know it aggravated the hell out of my son. I, I know it. Yeah, she was gonna slide me, Rosa, but I don't think it ain't bother her, but I knew it aggravated the hell out of my son. Yeah, I knew it aggravated him, right? But cause she ain't mind me had cooking her breakfast. Now my son, him trying to get him into the right mind frame and get him on the right track. Now that's like pulling teeth, making sure he eat breakfast in the morning, even when he don't want to, he still need to eat breakfast. And so that's the big issue, because again, people with renal failure, they have that metallic taste in their mouth. And the reason why now his dialysis, that solution has protein but it has a lot of carbohydrates in it. So what it does is when he plug himself up to it and the solution begin to go into his body, what happens is that it fills him up. Like it make him feel like he's full. Like he just got through eating. It make his stomach feel real full, real full. And so what happens is that it cramps him. It'll cramp him. And they say that's just one of the side effects, and that eventually it goes away. Like it dies down. And so I seen it, I experienced it because he cringed, and it must hurt so bad because his eyes watered, So, it must feel like a stomach spasm, like when your muscles in your stomach spasm, that kind of feeling. Because the first time I seen him experience is when he first gave himself dialysis, and his eyes was watering. That's how hurt, how bad it hurt. And so it make you feel like you full, but in reality you're really not. But it's just the solution going in. So it takes that card. It looks like a rope, y'all, a plastic rope, and it goes from the machine and him into the toilet. That's his dumping site. So that machine has, when he turn it on, he has to have it hooked up correctly. So when it get ready to dump, to test, you will hear it tinkling in the toilet like somebody using the restroom. Y'all, I've learned so much in being on dialysis and how things are done. So, in reality of it all, y'all, it's a fight, but it's something worth fighting for. See, I can't get up here and fight behind something that really don't make no sense, that really is no use for anyone. I only could get up here and fight for something that makes sense and has a purpose. If it's not a purpose, then I can't have any parts of it. I'm not gonna get up on my platform and talk about it. I did that twice, and I ain't doing it no more. So if it's not behind a purpose and getting help and encouraging people to keep going in spite of their situation, because we all have crosses to bear. And I don't mind sharing my life experiences with you all, hoping that it'll encourage you for whatever you might be going through. Now, my situation might not be your situation. You understand? It might not be. But what I'm trying to get you to understand, if you see me sitting here and I'm telling you to hang in there, because what I'm going through, if I'm hanging in there, so can you. So can you. If God give you life each day, and I always say this, make it your best. I don't care what you're going through. Make it your best. And I done been through some mess, child. I done been through it. And I'm still going through. You hear me? And the only way I could encourage you is that I got to be encouraged. That I have to have it within me to know that my son gonna be okay. See, and it take a lot. It took a lot for me to get to this point. I ain't get here overnight. And I'm gonna tell you something. Was I scared? Yeah, I wouldn't lie to you. Was I discouraged? Yeah. Was I worried? Yes. Yes. Was I asking why? Yes. Oh, I did all of it. I wouldn't lie to you. I wouldn't lie to you. Did I shed a many tears? Oh, yes, I did. Oh, yes, I did. Oh, yes, I did. But God told me, leave it to me. Ain't that what you've been praying for? Ain't that what you've been telling others? That my will shall be done? That no weapon formed against you shall prosper? That you can do all things through Christ who gives you the strength? Ain't that what you've been telling folks? Okay, so what's your problem, Miss Ann? No, ma'am, press hand. That ain't what we doing around here. No, ma'am. Get it together. I got this. You ain't got to worry. See, fear brings on worry. And anything that we do not know, anything that we don't have a clue of, it'll bring fear to us. And at that time, I ain't had a clue. I didn't have a clue. Let me say that again. I didn't have a clue on what my son was getting ready to face. But I had to stay with my face up. Who I know could make things turn around in my favor. See, I got to keep the faith. Even when things like this occur in my life. And I wouldn't sit here and make you think it was all gravy, because it wasn't. I didn't know if I was going to mildew or barbecue. You hear me? See, and I had to gather myself before I could even gather my son and my daughter-in-law. Before I could even help them, I had to clean up me. See, because you can't help nobody. If you toe down from the floor down, shit, you can't help nobody. If your mind is all over the place, you can't help nobody. So before I could come and help anybody, I had to clean my own self. I had to get my own mind right. And I had to leave it in the hands of my Father. See, gotta trust him. Gotta trust him. You got to. You got to trust the process. And I gotta trust the process. I got to. Anybody want to come on stream and talk to me? I could drop the link. If y'all want to get up here and say anything, I'm going to drop the link for you. I'm gonna drop the link for you. And if you want to come up here and say something, y'all know I miss you. You're more than welcome to. There you go. Anybody want to join me on StreamYards? I dropped the link in the chat. You're more than welcome to come up, and then we're gonna end it. Cause I've been on here almost 2 hours. Y'all know I don't do no marathon lives now. Y'all know I don't do that. Thank you, Sexy Harlem. Thank you, baby. You know I'm always in prayer. I'm always praying for everybody, you know. So I do need prayer, and I ask everybody to pray for me and my family as I continue to pray for you all. You know, I take everybody prayers. Yeah, I do. Oh, okay, Sexy Harlem. All right, baby. Yeah, Miss Dunning, you know I miss y'all. You know, I ain't been able to get my last little watch time, you know, because I've been so busy with them, you know, hanging out with them. So I ain't had time. I think I went live one time the whole time I was down now. And it wasn't that long, but yeah, I was live. So, you know. You ain't shy, Rosa. You ain't shy. And if y'all ain't got a chance to go and meet Donna Just Being Real, Donna have one of the smoothest. Here my niece and nephew. They have one of the smoothest. She had one of the smoothest live stream you could ever want. Let me click these in. Let me keep being big review. What up? What up, fam?
Hey, let me tell you, Auntie Roro, you know that we love you. I am coming on. I have no makeup on, no nothing.
Love y'all.
We wanted to come.
Yeah, we wanted to say hello.
We wanted to come and say hello because we miss you too, and say hi to everybody in the chat.
Hello, everyone.
Well. I got my grays popping out and everything.
Oh, girl, don't let me snake this cap off and this rag under my head, child. You'll see all kinds of gray hair. Y'all been doing okay?
You know, we have. I praise God. We have. You know, we've dealt with a little bit of up and down with some family members and health and with them and you know that, and so that's why I agree with you when you're saying you got to pull yourself together before you go out and you try to pray for other people or whatever.
Right.
We had to
build yourself up too.
Right, we had to take our moment and and really just get in tune and in line with God and be in the right headspace for us to let me try to put you back on for us to try to come back on. So we totally agree with you.
Yeah, you know, and dealing with mental health issues in our community is a hard thing for our community. And I wish our community would learn to really get a grip and go ask for help. And not just ask for help for material things, but for on a mental capacity. When you're suffering from mental illness, that's hard. And it's devastating to watch your family members deal with mental illness. Yeah, it's harmful. Yeah, it's hurtful. You don't want to see them going through it, but I'd rather them reach out for help or come to me and we can sit down and talk about it and go get help than to not get them help at all. You understand? Not get them help at all, you know. And I know for my great niece, finally her mom ended up getting help for my great niece. And she doing well now, child. You would never
That's
know
good.
that little girl was as bad as she was. You would never knew that by looking at her today. You know. So in getting my niece to understand that this is the way that you got to do it to help her to understand what's going on with her. And so after she being put in school, going through kindergarten and different things, then that's when my niece really latched on and really began to work with her daughter. So, you know, a lot of times she took a lot of my advice from getting her daughter help, because I would talk to her all the time, just like my niece Snooty Cass was in the line. That one there, she was actually raised in the house with my boys. So, you know, it's what it is. That's what family do. When I see Auntie Donna in the chat, Auntie Donna, that's all she do is take care of her nieces and nephews, her great nieces and nephews, you know, pour into them what she know how to pour into them. You understand? So, you know, at some point, as people of color, you know, that's all we know is family. Family in the church.
Because sometimes well, I mean, and don't get me wrong, there's obviously, you know, we have no problem with church, but a lot of times I feel like we're kind of taught that that's it. Like I do believe, obviously we do believe in prayer, we do believe in healing, we do believe that God is able to heal, but in there sometimes there's a process to get from A to B, and in between that process I think that people do need to get help, and a lot of times we don't. But I also think for our community it's tough because
for a pride thing too.
There's pride.
Yeah, you got to be tough. No, yeah. You got to be tough. You don't need help. You can do it on your own.
And also finances.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, we may not have.
That's difficult, you know, for us. You know, so in my experience, you know, I've always talked about, you know, the special need umbrella. And a lot of times, you know, we think that means that they are special, that they have some kind of issue. And that's not what it means. Being underneath the special ed umbrella, it just protects the teacher, the child, and the school. That's all it does. And making sure that child that's underneath that umbrella getting the services that they need in that public setting. That's what that means. It doesn't mean anything else. But we of color think that that's the worst thing. And it is not. It's not. That's why they changed the name from special ed to special needs.
I think it also depends on the time period that you were in. Like, you know, if you go 10 years back or more, like you were considered, you know, you were taking that short bus.
Yeah, label.
You know, and people, there was a label and a stigma. So it's great that now, you know, it doesn't have the same stigma that it used to. But it also depends on the school system that you're in. Because,
now, y'all heard me talk about how big Houston school district is. Now, Houston school district is huge. And so they don't really turn down anyone. You can best believe that you can find a school that will supply your child needs. The thing is that you can't leave it up to the school to do it. You got to be the voice. You got to be in that. You got to be. And that's just not for special needs. That's for any child in public school. You have to be your child's voice. That teacher needs to know that you're there, that you're concerned about your child's education. Period. And you are right
Mm-hmm.
that years ago, if you was on the short yellow bus,
Mm-hmm.
you were placed in that category, you know. And so
Mm-hmm.
coming up in school and children trying to find themselves and peer pressure, it does hinder a child. And I always used to tell the parents, keep encouraging your child,
Mm-hmm.
keep fighting for your child, keep talking
Mm-hmm.
to them. I would talk to my children until I was blue in the face. But did that stop talk? Did that stop me from
Mm-hmm.
talking?
No.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Because I wanted the best for my children. Even though they was in
Mm-hmm.
public school, I still wanted the best for them. And even though they didn't have problems with learning, I still wanted to make sure they was in there getting what they needed to get and learning
Mm-hmm.
like they were
But
supposed
you
to. And that
also
teacher doing what she's supposed to be doing. And
you
not
were
up in
also
there passing out worksheets.
in education
So
though.
you know the deal.
So you knew, but for what about the parents who, who don't have that information and
Those are the parents that I would always befriend and always talk to
mm-hmm.
because I wanted to make them aware of what's actually taking place in the school. Like you
Mm-hmm.
gotta come up here. A lot of parents didn't know that they had the right to come in that school and stand at the window and watch their child play. You know why they didn't know they had the right to do that? Because
Why is
the
that?
principal was telling them, no, you cannot come in and interrupt our during the time of the curriculum time. You can't do that. That's a distraction. No, it's not. Not if your child don't know you coming. Not if the
Right.
teacher don't know you coming. How that's gonna be a
Mm-hmm.
distraction? And that's just
Mm-hmm.
another tactic for them to cover their tracks. It was just another
Right.
tactic. And I would always
Right.
tell them, don't listen to that. Don't listen. Don't listen to that. And that was during the time, y'all, that computers were just now coming into full effect.
Okay.
We talking the late
80s.
90s, early
Okay.
2000s.
Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
You know when cell phones start coming,
Mm-hmm.
because first it was the cell phone, then it was computers and internet.
Mm-hmm.
When AOL came out and you used to have
Hotmail.
to listen to that dial tone. The dial tone.
Yeah.
Y'all remember that? See, I
Yes,
remember.
we do. Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Don't tell nobody.
I remember all that. You know. I remember all that.
Yeah.
And I used to tell them, stay in here. Be that voice for your child. If you don't do nothing else, stay up in here, stay on. Because I'm gonna tell you something. What I've learned that when a teacher knows that they got a parent that will show up at the schoolhouse about their child, that teacher take a whole nother tailspin.
Yeah. I think that's a message for everything. Even if you have family, like right now, if you have family that's in the hospital, and because right now people are going into the hospitals and they are by themselves and they really don't have anybody looking out for them, like in the hospital. If you can even call the hospital and make it known that they have family member who is pretty much paying close attention and watching what they're doing, and advocate for your family member that way, then do so in every single area. Like, if you can be a voice to let people know that another person has somebody and you're paying attention, it's necessary.
Yes, that is so true. That's another thing you all I've been telling my family about.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Don't go up in there and show your face when you could, and then you don't go back 23 days later. I dealt with that with my father. Child, it be cold in them hospitals, but I wasn't leaving. And he was in ICU, and I wasn't leaving. I sit there until them doctors made their round, you know, to talk to them doctors. And most of the time when doctors, teachers, nurses, everybody see you there, and they really see that you're concerned about the well-being of your loved one, what happens is their approach become totally different.
Yes, it does.
It becomes totally different than what you seen for the very first time. I've experienced that, you know. So you got to be the voice for your family members when they in the hospital or wherever they are. You guys, this thing is so serious that you wouldn't believe how many people have been devastated. But now we listen to the news, but you know that's propaganda, right? Y'all know that that's not really the real count. That it's kind of more people who's lost their lives to COVID-19 than it's more. So you got to know that even watching it on TV and them trying to give you an accurate count, you got to know that that's not accurate. Like, people are still dying from COVID-19. And I was in somebody's live, and they said, do y'all think that it's ever going to go back to normal? And my answer to that was no. No. Nothing is going back to normal.
You know, we have a lot of different beliefs on it. I'm not really going to talk about it. We don't want you shut down. But you know, it's unfortunate. You know, just, you know, pray. I guess the biggest thing that we could say,
pray for covering,
is pray for covering, pray for the covering of yourself, your spouse, your mate, your family members. Like, plead the blood of Jesus over yourselves. You know, I was even talking to somebody, like a relative today. We're like, look, if that means that we have to put some anointing oil on our doorpost or whatever, like this is the time. If people can't see the signs and, you know, they don't recognize the signs, this is the time. If you have not had a relationship with the Lord, this is the time that you should start having a relationship with the Lord. So, you know, that's basically, we don't hear you. We can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Oh, I'm listening, y'all. Y'all know that's the youngest one of mine just breathes through here.
Oh, okay. Okay. I
y'all like see me look up like, what?
Yeah. So,
but yeah, that's so important, you guys. And Donna, just being real, said that the business relationship with the principal, the guidance counselor, whenever they had an issue, and they would immediately, See, once you put that out, once they see that you are there, and you're not just gonna leave them or let them be, then they take a whole nother perspective on your child, your loved one, or whoever it might be. But you got to show them, hey, my main concern is this one here. Now, I don't care about Sally Sue. That I ain't here for. I'm here for this one. You know, you just gotta have family. You gotta do it.
They better have family, but you're concerned with your family.
Yeah. You know, I don't know nothing about what's going on over there, but I know what's going on over here. You know. But you guys, you know, I wanted to come on here and talk about that. I think it's very important about mental illness and in our community and to get help,
Yeah.
and encourage your loved ones, your friends, whoever it might be, to get help,
Mhm.
to seek
Mhm.
some kind of counseling.
It's true.
It'll be really good for everyone. You don't know what life you're saving. You're saving a life, you know, when you do that. So be
I
an
tell you,
advocate,
let me tell you, we're probably gonna go. We're probably not gonna stay on for too long, but I tell you, a week and a half ago, I got a call, and I mean, this just shows you how bad it is. Like, I got a call about an acquaintance of mine. Found out that she's no longer here,
Wow.
and it was because her husband did it, and he ended up doing it to himself. Am I making
Wow.
sense? Yeah. I don't want to say the
Yeah.
words, right? I'm trying not to say the words because, again, I don't know how sensitive it is to say certain words, but so people are going through, because who would have
In the last
thought
month and a half,
in the
people
last
going
month,
through. Mhm.
in the last, honestly, this is the second situation where I've heard, something like that. The other one was even closer to home than that, so people are really going through, and it's like, I just pray that whoever needs it just goes and gets the help, or they're able to find help, or they're able to get access to help, because sometimes it's healthcare. They don't have access to healthcare
Resources,
or
yeah.
resources or whatever. So somehow, but there are free resources out there. You just have to search for them.
Yeah. And your friend probably had been dealing with that for years and never spoke to anyone about it unless it was close
Mhm.
family. Not for some reason, close family. Your family know if
Mhm.
you're close, if you're close to a lot of your family members, they can pretty much tell there's something going
Mhm.
on with you. They're normal,
Mhm.
you know,
Mhm.
and they will continue to attach themselves to you and hang on to you because they see a change going on within you. I know I do
Mhm.
that a lot with a lot of people that I've known for years. That
Mhm.
if I see a change within them, then I kind of hover around them a little bit more
Mhm.
because it's something going on maybe that I can't put my finger on,
Mhm.
but maybe somebody else, right? So
Yeah.
I hover around to keep encouraging them, hopefully to get help if it is something going on or whatever
Mhm.
the situation is, or to make them comfortable enough to tell me what the
Mhm.
issue is and we can seek out help.
Mhm.
That's another thing,
Mhm.
you know. But the first sign is when people, and how I know this is because I did it, when people close themselves out from their close friends and relatives. See, I closed myself
Mhm.
off to them. See, I stopped
Mhm.
answering the phone. I stopped going to family gatherings.
Mhm.
You know, I stopped answering certain calls. So
Mhm.
I was already going into a tailspin of depression.
Mhm.
You understand? So
Oh, but who
in
wouldn't?
that,
Honestly, who
I
wouldn't
learned that.
though? Like, mhm. Mhm. You've been through, like I wrote before, you've been through a lot. You've been through a lot, and I'm, grateful to God that you're still standing and you're still
Mhm.
strong, and you're still able to help others, even though you've been through so much yourself.
Yeah, that's my whole mission is to be able to encourage, to be able to fight for the ones that don't have a
Mhm.
fight within them. You know, Um, and that's my whole thing for starting my YouTube channel. You know, that's what it is. And I got a heart. I got compassion for people. I have empathy. And a lot of times I hear people say, well, you got to pull yourself out of social media because we're in a social world where right now everybody is in a social world. Even when you look at the talk shows like Wendy Williams doing it in a virtual way. She's not in a studio. She's not with a live audience. So we are in a virtuous world. So for me not to help anybody or try not to help anybody in the virtuous world, that'd be kind of crazy because that's what we're in. And I don't know no other way than being on the internet. Like you reach millions and millions of people, and you'll never know. And I keep saying this: you'll never know who gonna watch your video.
You have no idea.
You don't never know where that video gonna flow to.
Right?
Isn't that crazy?
Well, right now, every person, every entertainer, celebrity, everybody, and a mama and a grandmama, and they're all on social media right now. They're using the same platforms that we're using.
That's right. So my thing is that I gotta keep myself together where I can come up here and talk to you all. Because if I ain't together, I can't do it. I can't do it. I have to have myself together in order to be able to help somebody. Well, you guys, I appreciate you all coming. B&B Reviews. You all haven't got a chance to meet B&B Reviews. They ain't been. Y'all haven't been live. Have I missed some of y'all live?
We did a couple. We haven't done too many. Yeah, we done a couple. We slowed down. We had to get back on the roll, but
Right. Okay. Well, I'm glad I ain't missed that many days.
No, don't even worry about it. We know
I ain't missed that many.
Everyone's going through it. It's not a big deal. So
I love you guys.
We love you too.
Auntie Donna. Y'all know Auntie Donna. Auntie Donna been with me forever. Y'all know Donna just being real. She been with me forever. Rosa in here. She been with me forever. I don't know who all else in here. Sexy Harlem, you all, 125. If y'all didn't get a chance to see her, Sexy Harlem is one of my lupus sister I met here on YouTube. So y'all check her out. Sexy Harlem 125. Here she is. She just popped in. Sexy Harlem 125 is another young lady who's attached to me that I met in other people live streams. Felicia P. Felicia Fee suffered with lupus as well. And Felicia would come into my stream and talk to me all the time. And she's the one who told me about Sexy Harlem. And I went over there to her page. I connected with Sexy Harlem. And me and her been rocking ever since. So if you ain't got an opportunity to go into her stream, she has now she on a schedule, unlike me. Y'all know I just pop up here whenever I feel like no, I ain't got no schedule.
That's where we're at right now.
I ain't got no schedule. But these are some wonderful content creators. I kid you not. And Donna Just Being Real is another one. And they're my Auntie Donna. Me and Auntie Donna been with me a long time, and I love me some Auntie Donna, So, now ain't nobody too much gonna come after Auntie Donna because Auntie Donna can hold her own. Oh, yes, she can. Yes, she can.
Okay. Okay.
So she can't, ain't too many people gonna come after Auntie Donna, but Auntie Donna has an amazing channel. Go over there and connect to her and watch her. Like I say, Sexy Harlem, Donna just being real. I don't know if you guys been in her stream, but whenever she premieres, it's like a quiet storm over there. And I like being in her stream as well. But you guys, I want y'all to stay blessed and not stressed. You know, keep them prayers going. Stay in that communication with your Heavenly Father. Where's that, you know, you could get the manifestation of his goodness, you know. And I love when God blesses me. See, I love when God blesses me. Because when he blessed me, I'm well blessed.
Right.
And when he blessed me, can't no man take it from me. See, that's the goodness of being blessed by God. It's because man can't touch you when you blessed by God.
Amen.
So,
Amen.
I want y'all to be blessed and B&B reviews. Y'all, if y'all ain't got a chance to catch one of their live streams, Miss B be up in there throwing that. I mean, just throwing the pots.
Thank you.
The girl can cook. Yes, she can. And so, if y'all ain't got a chance to be in their live stream, it's fun. We do trivia, we do music. They do music trivia. Y'all, we be over, and then they do educational lives too. We do everything over there. It's fun. It's fun. Y'all don't know what y'all missing when y'all don't come and hang out with B&B Review. You know, especially in their lives. I love being over there, child, because I be over there getting my life, you know, because they talk about everything. They talk about everything. And so that's another good live. You know, I got some good people, and I ain't ashamed to tell it, you know, and I love them. And I'm always going to be with them, you know, because they're big supporters of mine. You know, I'm going to go get the other ones too, but they might, when they drop a video or they go live, that's my main focus because we family.
We appreciate it. We appreciate it. And we hope that, you know, that we're the same type of supporter for you. We appreciate your support. And what I am noticing before we go, because I'm really going to go now. Before we go, I love how God is connecting people, you know, through this. I feel like, you know, a lot of us, we probably didn't go in thinking that we were going to meet people and didn't know that you build family and all that on there. And connections. And so I just love to see how God is like working things out and connecting people. So
It's amazing, you know. And like people don't understand that this virtual world thing, this is on. And just look at how this COVID-19 took place. See, I be up in here thinking, I be saying, Lord, what's going on? Like, what's really happening? You know, and look at what time at a time that it took on the world. And then during everything that occurred during that time, like Easter. Easter occurred during COVID-19 when we shut in and can't go out.
Right.
That means we had to look at church on live stream. You know, that you had to take communion. How many of y'all took communion at y'all home during the Easter weekend? See, I took communion at my son and daughter-in-law house. We did communion. We did everything, y'all. So, you know, you gotta sit back and wonder what's going on. And you know, in order for this thing to get back together, you know, it's gonna have to be by the will of God.
Yeah,
you know, it's just what it is.
Absolutely.
For it to come back and we can go back to our normal selves if we ever reach that. Because I believe God is still working on his people, you know, to really to depend on him, you know, and trust him through everything. And for some reason, even though a lot of us lost our job, we ain't really trusting God. You know, we trying to fix it ourselves. And God says, move out the way. Your way is not my way. Your thoughts are not my thoughts. You know. So that's something.
We're gonna say goodbye.
Yeah, I'm gonna say goodbye to me. I love each and every last one of you. I want you to know that I'm praying for you, and I miss y'all so much. But I just can't be up here like I want to. So I love y'all. Y'all keep praying for me as I keep praying for you all. I love each and every last one of you. You all stay blessed and not stressed. And we'll talk later. Peace out.
All right,
Peace.
later.
Bye. Bye.